Alright, I got a video I want to watch. So, I'm gonna watch it. Let me do that. Yeah.
Have you ever randomly remembered an old mobile game you
This is the best deleted mobile games.
loved, tried to look it up to play it again, only to find out it's gone forever? I feel like that happens to everybody, and it's always the worst feeling to know you're missing out on a game you genuinely miss. My initial goal for today is to just relive the feeling to know you find out it's gone forever? I feel like that happens to everybody, and it's always the worst feeling to know
Why do I feel like I've played this before? I don't think I played
you're
this
missing out on a game you genuinely miss. My initial goal for today is to just relive the glory days of playing all these old games you might have forgotten about. These are classics that I don't want to forget. A lot of them are branded and were deleted
Oh
because
my
their license
god, bro. Bro, I remember seeing this game,
ran out.
bro.
But there are a few unique cases otherwise for us to cover. I get requests to talk about the Infinity Blade series daily. So let's play these old games if possible, discuss why they were
this
deleted,
game?
if it's possible to play today, and how for those who want to.
What is this? I see Bowser. Mario. I don't remember this.
And most importantly, if they
Flappy
deserve
Bird.
to come back. Kind of the whole point is, yeah, they should, but maybe we are simply feeling nostalgic for something that was never that special in the first place. Only one way to find out. So without further ado, let's bring some
Oh my gosh, bro. I remember I looked for this game again. It wasn't even there, bro. This game was fire.
games back
I
from the
love this
dead,
game.
and if they turn out to suck, I guess we'll just bury them alive instead. Obviously, we have to start with Flappy Bird,
Flappy
one of the most
Bird.
well-known deleted games of all time and a cultural phenomenon. Everyone was playing this game. I was in elementary school at the time, and people would just be competing on each other's iPods to get to new high scores. Genuinely, I still remember playing it in the lunchroom to this day. Why was it taken down though? How does such a popular, well-performing game get deleted just like that? If you look up why, you'll get tons of different reasons. The creator got a cease and desist from Nintendo, he received death threats, and the game was causing real-life violence, and just that the popularity was too much for the guy to handle. It sounds like the real reason is he just felt guilty for creating a game that people were wasting their time playing, but taking it down might have had an even bigger impact. People will find ways around this, and you can't physically take away the game from people who owned it. It went so far that people would sell their phones or iPods with the game on it. That
$856 just to play a game. It's not worth it. Just play Flappy Bird.
That's how big of an impact Flappy Bird had. It works so well because it's so simple yet addictive. Anyone can get good at this game. It requires no skills or learning curve, and it's very exciting to get new high scores. I played for just a few minutes, got to 67 and was absolutely set on getting further, but that's going directly against what the creator wanted. Why waste more of my time on a game built to do just that? I'm sort of glad Flappy Bird is gone, honestly. People will find a way to waste their time with anything, and if the creator doesn't want to be responsible for that, then more power to him. Flappy Bird had its time in the spotlight, and I don't think it needs to come back. Besides, there are endless clones and ripoffs.
Clumsy Bird, bro. Flappy Turd. What the heck? Tappy Bird. Flat Bird Forever. Flappy Cats. Impossible Bird. Flappy Bats.
You can still play instead. A game that will always be important to me is Disney Crossy Road. It's
Now, Disney Crossy Road. That needs to come back. That's one of the best games I've ever played. They had a bunch of Disney stuff, bro. They had every single Disney thing you could think of, bro. I think they had Marvel in there too.
actually the first thing I made YouTube videos on when I started my channel. I already loved Crossy Road, so giving us a bunch of new worlds, iconic characters, and new secrets to unlock, I was immediately hooked. If you're unfamiliar, it's a Frogger game. You cross the road while dodging obstacles, and you collect coins to put towards unlocking more characters. I just love the art style of this game, I can't explain it. Some of the characters in this game are more iconic to me than the actual source material. Now, let's be real, Disney Crossy Road got a ton of updates in its lifespan. From The Incredibles to Pirates of the Caribbean to Lilo and Stitch, this game really got all the big Disney franchises over time. By the Cars update, it was already clear the end was in sight, but we knew there were DuckTales characters in the files of the game, and there should be at least one last update before the end. But after months of waiting, I think most fans had given up, and then one day it just happened. Out of nowhere, we got the final content update, and it was a blast just getting to relive the experience of unlocking everyone from a new world one final time. Eventually, I'm sure Disney's contract with them expired, and just like that, the game would be gone. Again, it's hard to even be too sad about that because we got so many worlds and characters during its lifespan. And one last hurrah with the DuckTales update.
I should have kept this, bro.
Want more, but man, I want more. There is a new event coming. I'll just have to wait 17,077 more days.
Wait, is this game? Can you still download this game?
Those 46 years will go by fast. Or just a new branded Crossy Road game. Marvel Crossy Road, Nintendo Crossy Road. Heck, I'd even take a Big Bang Theory Crossy Road.
A Nintendo Crossy Road would kind of be fire. Going with Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, that'd be fire.
I selfishly wish this game never died, and of course I want it back. I'd play every update until the day I died. Out of all the endless runners lost the time.
Oh my god!
Update until the day I died.
Bro, oh my gosh, I played this game religiously, bro. Agent P Doofendash, this game was fire.
Out of all the endless runners lost the time, the most fondly remembered and devastating loss of them all is Spider-Man Unlimited. This game has so much that is 100% selfish to want more.
I think I played this
just be
like
able to play
once
it
or
again
twice.
is really all people want. This game is a Spider-Man fan's dream. Looking at the roster of characters just blows me away every time. I could sit and scroll through it for an hour, just looking at all the fun variants here. Most are Spider-Men and women, but there's some unique ones too. Not many endless runners have a story, especially not one that can explain the things you do in the game, or such a well-made opening cutscene. I'll never get sick of watching it. We start out chasing down an alternate universe goblin, and even Nick Fury interrupts before giant ships emerge from a portal in the sky. From there, you get a bit of dialogue before each level pertaining to the mission. Once you complete each level's mission, you continue to play
I've played this
earn
before.
even more rewards.
Yeah, I
There's
remember
always
this.
something new happening, whether you're swinging through the streets and dodging lasers, or running through Oscorp using your spider sense to, strangely also, dodge lasers. It is action-packed and really fun to progress through. Looking into why it was delisted, it seems the game just ran its course. 427 characters is nothing to scoff at.
So let me
Marvel
Spider-Man
is
Temple
especially
Run.
tricky to deal with in terms of who has the rights to what, and I guess Gameloft just didn't keep up the rights to have the game going anymore. Again, it just sucks the game has to be deleted for that, especially because, as I'm proving right now, the game still works perfectly fine. But yes, if it was possible to return, which it's definitely not, it should. I believe there's a fan revival for the game though if you're interested. Which reminds me, I forgot to mention this, but both Flappy Bird and Disney Crossy Road can easily be emulated. You just need to download an APK for them. Spider-Man is a bit trickier as it uses motion controls on top of normal touch controls, but I'm sure you can make it work too, just in case you want to download any of those games. You would not believe how often I get suggested to try Infinity Blade or include it in a Hidden Gems video. Or maybe you
I've never
would
seen this
if
game
you're one of the
before.
people suggesting it. Well, either way, I've tried covering it before, but basically found out it wasn't possible to emulate. That was quite a while ago though, and in that time, the first game has been revived by the fans we played on PC. It's pretty easy to find the Reddit thread for it if you're interested, but this is my first time trying the game, so I am pumped. The intro shows us how to play, and then we instantly die. That's messed up. 20 years later, you play as the son of the guy who died, and this is where the bloodline begins. Each fight seems impossible against knights and creatures twice your size, but if you can successfully block or parry, you can get some hits in and beat them. This game is very clearly made for touch controls, so playing in full screen on my big computer monitor was somewhat difficult to pull off each precise move. However, I had a blast as I played. This game is so cool. I love this world, I love these character designs. I ended my recording finding this big robot. There's a lot of fairly normal looking knights and some weird creature people too, and I can only imagine it gets more cool as we go. Again, it is super unfortunate that the system this was made for on mobile isn't really possible to play on, but the fact that I had this much fun in just a short session of playing is really all I needed to know. People miss this game for a reason. In fact, there was a whole trilogy of Infinity Blade games we're missing out on. So why is that? Well, believe it or not, Epic Games, you know, the Fortnite people,
$19 Fortnite coin. Who wants it?
created Infinity Blade. And because they needed to focus on their up-and-coming games, again, Fortnite, they decided to take down the games and save themselves the time having to keep the game up to date and everything. I think it's safe to say with the success of freaking Fortnite, they made the right call. They could come back to this game and re-release it for the die-hard fans who miss it, but of course not. Why would they do that? But yeah, I think this game should come back, and I'll be riding in the Epic Games parking lot until it does. The great thing about using the same Apple ID for my entire life is that if I ever previously owned one of these games, there's a chance I can still play it, like with Spider-Man Unlimited. But sadly, some apps are just completely purged, even if you did own them at one point.
Dang,
Like
2014.
Flappy Bird, Where's My Perry,
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god, bro!
Oh my god, bro! Oh my god, bro! These were the. Oh my gosh! Where's my water, bro? Bro, that's a legendary game right there. That's a mythic pool right there, bro. Where's my Perry? This game was fire too. But where's my water? Oh my god, bro! I played literally all three of these. These were
Next
such good games, bro.
Tiny Death Star, a spin-off of the game.
Oh my god, I played this game too. Oh my goodness, yo, this video is legendary. This video is actually legendary.
Tiny Tower, obviously themed around Star Wars. I think it's really cool this game exists at all. Some little mobile game got to partner with Star Wars, and the collaboration just works so well. You slowly build more and more levels.
I played the regular one, but I played the Star Wars one too. This one was fire.
To your Death Star, getting new residents and giving them jobs, all themed around iconic Star Wars characters and locations. Now and again, you'll even get a famous guy like Jar Jar Binks to stroll in and play a little cutscene. Over time, you get to invite all the major Star Wars characters, but of course, part of the appeal of this game is waiting for things to be built and tasks to be finished. You can't sit down and beat the game in one sitting. It takes years to make a good Death Star. So how am I going to do that if this game doesn't exist anymore? This is just a rumor, but apparently Disney took the game down without even informing the creators of Tiny Tower. That's really sad, but I guess you know what you're getting into when you work with Disney, huh? It's a cool game that was well done, but
always Disney,
it will
bro.
never come back, and let's just keep it that way. Support Tiny Tower and its creators, not the greedy mouse
what's the next game?
corporation. Just find an APK if you want to play it again.
What's the next game?
Cartoon Network games definitely take up a large portion of deleted mobile games that people miss. I don't really get why, but one by one they all disappear over time, and everyone who played them is nostalgic for a particular one that...
Yo, the Teen Titans Go game? The figure game? Hold on, I gotta see if I can find it. Let me see. Oh my god. Yo, this game was fire, bro. This game is actually hard. Oh shoot, y'all can't see. Bruh. Hold on, let me see. Bro, this game right here. Oh my gosh. This game, I love this game. This one, and there was a second one. I played the second one. This is the second one. It had them as like the Justice League, bro. One of the best games I've ever played. I actually almost beat the first one, but you know, I didn't.
I remember fondly. Maybe that's Steven Universe Attack the Light, or nostalgic for a particular one they remember fondly. Maybe that's Steven
I played this too. This is actually fire.
Universe Attack the Light, or one of the Amazing World of Gumball games, but the most important one to me and many others is Adventure Time Card Wars. After the episode with the game released, every kid who saw it wanted to play the game themselves, and it was a no-brainer to turn it into a video game. Obviously, a physical board game would be cool, but it's sort of impractical. Anyways, I played this game all the time, but I wasn't very good at it. As the name suggests, you can build your own deck to fit your playstyle and take down opponents. You used to be able to play
I played the balloons one, the balloons tower defense, but it was Adventure Time. That one
online,
fired.
but I doubt there's an easy way to do that these days. Instead, you can play the story mode, and each time you beat a character, like Marceline for example, you will unlock them. Each character has unique skills, similar to PvZ Heroes if you played that. The cards are pretty cool, some from the episode in the show, and a lot of brand new monsters and spells. Each one can be flooped, of course, including the pig, which activates a unique skill. The way I like to play is very aggressively, taking hits but dealing as much damage as I can to just win early. It's high risk, high reward at all times. I also forgot how important it was to land these spinner wheels correctly, dealing double damage, or just completely blocking and countering opponents' attacks. They put so much effort into this game to not only make it faithful to the show, with great music and voice acting and okay graphics, but a decent deck building game on top of that. I want this game back, and I want them to make it real because that would be awesome. Someone suggested I should try a game called Grabitron, and just out of curiosity, I looked it up to see if it looked fun or not. And then just a wave of nostalgia hit me when I saw the gameplay.
the heck?
I remember this game, and I certainly don't remember it being so low quality.
I've never seen
I
this.
forgot that it was made by the creators of the Hungry Shark games, who apparently love making games about killing little humans. But you control a UFO with a big meaty claw to swing around and grab stuff. As you play, you'll receive missions like abduct a bunch of farmers. You complete missions to earn gems to upgrade your ships or travel to new locations. It's nowhere near as greedy as games these days. I bet you could unlock everything within a sitting, as long as you're good at the game and you can really rack up points. It was meant to be played with motion controls, so it sort of sucked using my mouse to control a joystick on screen, but I still had a lot of fun. To be honest though, the stages are pretty empty. Sometimes you can find some secrets, but a lot of times I was just going back and forth a lot. And then if you get hit by a rocket launcher, you just instantly die. Anyways, it's clear to see why this game isn't around anymore. This really isn't even a guess. The team just had no plan to keep it updated for modern devices, and it will forever be a low quality looking old mobile game because of that. They put all their effort into the Hungry Shark games, and that seems to have worked out. I don't think we need a Grabitron revival, there's just not a lot to it, but if they revamp the series, I would be more than happy to give it a shot. We're at the halfway point now, and I'd like to do a quick lightning round of random games I have on my old Kindle Fire. It's a real treasure
Scribblenauts. Scribblenauts is one of my favorite games of all time.
trove. I just wish I had someone to screen record on this thing. If anyone wants to buy
SpongeBob Diner Dash.
it, name your price, honestly. Anyways, a lightning round. I was going to include Mega Run, but
Lego
good
TV.
news. It was actually revived. That is an absolute win right there. If you missed this game and want to play it again, you actually can. Same with a game I loved called Spin Rhythm, which got a full, fresh console release. Even bigger win right there. The music in this game is awesome, and I can't recommend it enough.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, back
Bad Piggies. Bro.
The Kindle, I had The Croods, an awesome town building game. Apparently there was an amazing Spider-Man 2 game, that's gone forever. Adventure Time Time Tangle, I saw some people suggest this one in my comments. Zombie Road Trip was a banger. If I make another one of these videos, I gotta play that one again. And of course, the game I miss every day.
Angry Birds Star Wars. Oh my gosh. Bro, those games were peak. Angry Birds Transformers was alright. Angry Birds Space, I liked Angry Birds Space. But the Star Wars ones was actually fire, bro.
Day of my life, Baby Ninja Dance.
What is this? There's no way people actually played this right. What the heck?
I'm actually not sure if I can sell this Kindle Fire, or I'd never be able to play that ever again. Alright, that's a lightning round. Now back to the rest of the video. I have actually never heard or played of any of the Cordy games, but people really want to see it. It's a mobile platformer focused on collecting gears and charges to exit each stage. I gotta say, for an old game, this looks pretty dang good to me. I love this art style. It was really charming, even if the first few levels are pretty bare bones. But I am telling you, swinging
Mario
around on
Odyssey
your
music.
board feels awesome, and you can build up a ton of speed from it. This feels like that one chibi robo game everyone hates, but done much better. And it really does feel like one of those old mobile games you just download and breeze through in one afternoon. I miss this era of games, and while it really isn't anything spectacular, it just brings me back to better times on the App Store. Let me know if the
Sneaky
other
Jack.
Cordy games are worth checking out. I'm curious now. As for the first game, it's cute, but I don't feel the need for it to come back. I can't really imagine a game like this existing in the modern mobile game landscape. It sounds like the company that made this were bought out, and then those guys didn't bother to keep their games up to date, and as of 2017 they basically shut down all operations. That's a sad ending to a very cute, fun game series. Branded town builders are the worst games to lose because the whole point is to spend months and months building up your village and unlocking everything. I actually did an entire video playing town builders for 2 weeks. I'd planned to do it for an entire month, but those were honestly some of the worst, depressing 2 weeks of my entire life. And for some reason, I didn't realize I owned SpongeBob Moves In and could still play it. You'll have to find an APK
I've
if you want to
played
do
this
the
game
same,
before.
but not me. I get to play it right on my phone.
Why does he look like that? That ain't SpongeBob.
They chose a
bro.
very unique art style for this game, and sometimes I love it, and sometimes I hate it. Depends on the day, really. You can earn money to unlock new characters and buildings, but most of the time you are making ingredients for making people the kind of food they want. It makes a lot of sense for a SpongeBob town builder, and already after 10 minutes of playing, I am hooked. I would love to have played this game for months in preparation for this video so you could all see my cool SpongeBob town and characters, but it feels so pointless to even consider getting into this game. I want to, but it doesn't exist anymore, so why would I? Clearly the game works though, so why not just keep it in offline mode? Why not, Nickelodeon, you cowards? I see no reason as to why this game couldn't come back, and that's why I'm saying it should. In what other game can you make the main character walk around town in their underwear? One of my all-time favorite and most missed games is Tiny
Alright.
Thief. I did a whole video with this game and Retry and a few more Rovio classics, so I won't go too in-depth here, but I can't not talk about it again. It deserves all the love in the world. At its core, it's a point-and-click puzzle game. You play as the one and only Tiny Thief, who starts off just stealing for his own sake until eventually you become the hero and save the princess. There's so much charm, love, and care put into this game. With zero dialogue, you still learn to fall in love with every character. Collecting all the secrets and playing through from start to finish is an unforgettable experience. And all you gotta do is find an APK and download it. Or buy the Wii U version. Up to you, I guess. If you're somehow still not convinced, there's even a level where some guy kicks his cat, so you hide in his bed, and the hottest woman in town gets out of the shower and joins you. If that is not enough to convince you this game should still exist, frankly, I don't know what will. I apologize for the low frames in this section. It might give you a headache to watch, so maybe just use this as an audio-only section if it bothers you. Anyways, while this
Oh
game
my
was
God.
probably more well known for being on Miniclip
What is
or
this?
Armor Games or whatever Flash website you chose to frequent in your childhood, Gravity Guy was also important to a lot of
Gravity Guy?
people on mobile. And since all you have to do is tap to invert the gravity,
Interesting.
it's kind of the perfect fit. I've never played this game before, but I already see the appeal. You go so insanely fast sometimes, to the point where you can't really even react to what's coming before it's too late. I love when games like this do that. Can you imagine how boring this game would be if it was at the same starting speed for the entire game, and you're being chased, so you can't just simply stop or stall for time? Now, as I'm sure you can tell, this game is old and outdated, and was never made to fit the free-to-play market on the App Store.
That's hurting my
It
eyes
cost more to
bad, bro.
update and maintain than they were earning back, so Gravity Guy went bye-bye. It's as simple as that. It's a very simple game to the point where I don't really see the need for a grand return anytime soon, but I can totally understand why people are nostalgic for this one. I got an APK for it, but I bet you can play it on your browser like the good old days too. Probably the biggest and most well-known purges of any series on the App
Angry
Store would have
Birds.
to belong to Angry Birds. Not only will we be covering a couple of the dozen classic Angry Birds games that don't like
Oh, I played this one.
me to play ever again, but I'll give you a little story of just how evil and awful Rovio is as a company. Let's just go over 3 Angry Birds games that people missed for now. We'd be here all
Angry
day if we wanted
Birds
to cover the
Go.
rest of them.
This one
The
was.
biggest and strangest loss is probably Angry Birds Classic. You know, the first game of the series, the entire reason your franchise
Goodness. Okay. Angry Birds. I don't even know what this one is. Rio Friends. Okay, Bad Piggies was cool because you had to build it. You had to build your little thing, your little like car or whatever it was. Angry Birds Star Wars. These two were fire. Angry Birds Go. It was alright. I don't think I played this one. Stella. Didn't play that. Angry Birds Transformers was alright. Pop. I don't think anybody was playing that, bro. Fight. Angry Birds 2 was cool. Angry Birds Action. I don't even know what this is. Angry Birds Blast. Football. I don't think anybody was playing this, to be honest. Angry Birds Evolution. I'm not gonna lie, they fell off with a lot of these games, bro. Because there was no reason for any of these. This movie wasn't even that good either. Angry Birds Reloaded. Bad Piggies 2. I didn't even know they had a second one. Block Quest? Bro, what? This ain't even Angry Birds. Pop Blast? I played this one a little bit, but I wasn't like playing it.
Franchise exists in the first place, the game that comes before your sequel that is still on the App Store despite the first game being deleted. Oh yeah, that game. With some of the greatest level design in the series history, the first Angry Birds game is one of the best in the series and easily better than every single game Rovio still allows you to download. My story about Rovio is tied to the deletion of this game, so I won't go too in-depth for now, but of course the original Angry Birds game should come back, and it's crazy I even have to say those words out loud. The branded games make a little more sense. As you've seen with a bunch of games on here, licenses run out and games shut down. It just happens. However, Angry Birds Transformers is still going strong to this day, and the console game Angry Birds Trilogy features the game Angry Birds Rio, meaning you can physically purchase and play this game lost from the App Store at any point in time, just not on your phone.
Oh, I
did
play Rio.
If you've heard me talk about Angry Birds Rio before, then you know it's my favorite game in the series, and I believe it is a real and actual crime that people can't just download and play it whenever they please. This masterpiece cannot be trapped on an overpriced console version. It just can't. And finally, let's talk about a beloved spin-off, Angry Birds Go. I recently did a full review of this game, so if you want a more in-depth look, there you go. But this racing game where you unlock each of the birds and upgrade your car and drive down really fun nostalgic courses is a really great time from beginning to end. Sure, Rovio tried selling people carts for $50 real-life dollars, but you can ignore that and still have a fun time. Rovio tried selling people carts for...
From your in-app purchase, $125. What?
$50 real-life dollars, but you can ignore that and still have a fun time with the game. Eventually, before it was wiped from existence, they actually updated the game to the 2.0 update, which was so bad and hated that people actually prefer that the game stay dead. That's actually a decent strategy. Make people hate your game and then they won't care if it gets deleted. Genius! But the original version of the game was pretty fun, I won't deny it. There's a great mod of this game called Nitro I played for its dedicated video, and I'd recommend it. Alright, now as promised, here's a little bedtime story about the most villainous mobile game company out there. I'm sorry if I give you nightmares, but I promise it's a thrilling and important real story to spread the word about. So in 2019, all the fan favorite Angry Birds games were wiped suddenly and permanently, and ever since that day the fans have begged to have the games come back. Rovio claimed these games didn't meet their standards or weren't up to date to work on modern devices anymore, but in reality they were very careful about what games they removed. Every single game, besides Bad Piggies for some reason, is a live service game, something you can play every day. You can play events and do your daily tasks, and of course, spend boatloads of money or watch countless ads. Rovio doesn't want you to play a good game that makes them a small amount of money, they want you to play a bad game that makes them a lot of money. So, back to our story, finally one day Rovio told us they would re-release the original game. Out of the kindness of their hearts, because they think it'll sell well, who can say for sure. You could get the whole game for a one-time purchase and never deal with ads or microtransactions. Is it the same company we've come to know? Oh, don't worry, they haven't changed a bit. See, when this re-release came out, it was so popular and all the fans went to buy it that the game was their best-selling and most widely talked about release by far. So when you search for Angry Birds, you'd be presented with Rovio Classics Angry Birds, not one of their live service games like Angry Birds 2 or Transformers. Despite them making money from people buying their new game, their real money makers were being overshadowed. No longer the top result when searching for an Angry Birds game. And that just won't do, huh? So you know what they did? After finally giving the fans their original game back, they deleted that game too. They even changed the name to Red's First Flight so it didn't have the words Angry Birds in it.
What? Nah, I made them
Can you believe that
rebrand.
shit?
That's crazy.
The fans supported a game that they wanted so much that Rovio punished them for it. Fuck you, Rovio. I will continue to cover the old games we love, but I refuse to promote your new releases any further. Alright, storytime got a
Goodness.
little heated there for a second. I
was a little
apologize.
angry.
Let's move to our last couple games for the video. These last games are really just me reminiscing about my favorites I'll never forget about, so indulge me for a moment if you will. I want to replay all 1,240 levels of Dr. Mario World so damn badly,
Oh, I think
and
I
I
played this
simply cannot.
before.
Make this game offline, alive forever,
Yeah, I
not
did play this.
possible according to Nintendo, despite the only online aspect being the freaking PvP mode. I have never played a puzzle game in my life that scratched the same itch for me. They introduced such interesting and game-changing mechanics throughout its lifespan, despite the only thing you can control are the pills you get. There is quite a bit of luck in terms of the colors of pills they give you and how your character's abilities activate, but still quite a bit of skills required on your end. You have to juggle pills as they float up, fighting gravity as a mechanic to beat these stages, and it's just really well done. We got plenty of levels in this game, I don't even want more, I just want to be able to play them, that's all. So yeah, selfishly this is probably the one game I want to come back more than any other. At least I can still watch my series of videos documenting every single level and event the game ever had. That's called dedication, my friends. And lastly, our most recent loss, The Simpsons Tapped Out. To celebrate the game's death, I made that video I mentioned earlier playing some town builders and capturing the final footage of my decade-old town one last time. If you played a town builder, you know what it's like to collect buildings and characters and everything like that. So when I tell you I literally had every single character and building in the game, you should be impressed. I'll give you a little peek into how I achieved this without ever spending money on the game. There's Facebook groups dedicated to giving away free items in your town. I don't really know how they work, but they do, and that's how I got everything. Now, I know what you're thinking. I never supported the game financially and therefore helped lead to its death, right? Well, EA doesn't deserve my money. They couldn't let us keep our towns. SpongeBob still works, why can't this? They know people spent a decade of their lives and boatloads of money on this game over its lifetime, and it's cruel and evil to take that away. I'll always miss The Simpsons Tapped Out, but it lived a good life, and they gave us all time to say goodbye to our towns. And people online have found ways to preserve theirs, so good enough for me. We have no need to have the game back, EA. Thanks for nothing. So, what have we learned today? When it comes to mobile games, they come and go all the time. If something is branded, you should fully expect it to disappear one day, no matter how much of your personal savings you dump into it. Sometimes it's hard to even get invested.
Bro,
in
he
games
didn't
like
do
these
he didn't do the Minions version of this, bro. Unless it's not like the Minions version of this. I was playing this so much.
much of your personal savings you dump into it. Sometimes it's hard to even get invested in games like these, just knowing it'll all be gone when these companies fail to profit from them. It's sad, and you can never really own any of these games, especially the ones that require a Wi-Fi connection. So let's learn from the games we've lost. Sure, we can sit and pray they come back one day like Mega Run did, but the truth of the matter is that's just not realistic. Be cautious of the games you sink your life into. Play your favorite games while you still can, and say a prayer and hold a funeral for the ones we've already lost. Trust me, when you love a game like Dr. Mario World as much as I did, that's the only way to heal. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know which games you missed the most. I know there are tons of games we could cover in a video like this, so let me know if I should make another part. I definitely include some of my favorites like the Temple Run and Where's My Water spin-offs. So let me know if I should and what games to include. Thank you
Where's
to
My
my
Water
members Patrick
spin-offs?
Barjan, Keep, Jeb the Legend, Cheaper Ying, Test Monkey, Callum Ford, Purse Keep,
Alright, yeah, we don't do a lot. Alright.
Nenner Checky,
W video.